So I'm backstage here at ECEC 2022 with Xavier, who's told the most incredible story of his life. So we're not going to repeat that in this conversation, but I'm intrigued as to your thoughts about people and humanity and goodness in the world, because you've been through an incredible experience. How do you feel about humanity?
I still believe that people are nice and genuine by nature, but I've been born and raised in Switzerland, Geneva, one of the finance capital of the world. And I do think that money perverts human.
And so how can we start to think about that? Is this an education point?
I was born in the 60s. And at that time, you only wanted, as a kid, to play football, maybe to become a doctor, to a pilot. Now the new generation, and I'm not saying it's bad or it was better before. It's just these new codes, new rules. Now, by speaking with, I have young friends or friends of of others. This new generation wants to be millionaire with 25. They want to be Instagrammers. They want to sell shitty products and get a commission. They all want to have their Rolex with being 20. And we are creating this culture of money for immediate money. With this, you have traders with big kind that are not even in their 20s. They don't know anything about the financial world, but they just think that cryptocurrency is the new god. So we are like nurturing these kids to be billionaires when they're 40 and millionaires when they're 20. And I have nothing against money, believe me. I mean, we are all human beings. I do prefer travel first class than economy. 5-star hotels are beautiful. 1-star hotels are shitty. I had a Ferrari, but I had my Ferrari when I was 40, after 20 years of working. Not out work, I mean, I was a banker. It's not the best symbol of out working, but even though it's work. And that's one of the problems we are facing.
And one of the other trends, I mean, you talked about sort of technology is enabling things to happen and people can get richer much younger than possibly before. But it's also bringing more transparency. That seems to me to be a helpful thing for what you're talking about. If we get more visibility on what's happening, there may be more potential to stop these things.
I don't know. I don't have the answer. As I said during the interview, I started my career at UBS in Geneva in 1987, when at that time you had no rules or regulation. You could bring bags or luggages full of cash, no question asked. At that time, lawyers could open bank accounts without disclosing the owner's identity. Now, 35 years later, you have zillions of rules and regulation, more transparency apparently. But where do we stand with financial crimes? Did they disappear? No, they just get bigger. So one thing is regulation, transparency. The other thing is to have human beings implementing the rule of law. If you have a compliance officer, please support him. Don't fight him.
And I think that's one of the challenges. One of the things I always say is that the word compliance is not helpful. It's a brand that it's not approachable. It feels like rules are being imposed on you. And so I wonder what your thoughts were in terms of the positioning of compliance and how it looks. Are there something we can do to make it more effective?
Again, if I had the answer, I will not be here, or I will not be in my situation. But as I said, we go back to the beginning. Human beings are good by nature, and if you have to consider compliance officer as one of your biggest assets in the company. They may not be producing money. They may be not dealing currencies, options, or stocks. So they don't bring money to your company, but they are protecting you of so many other problems. So bring them to the top.
Fantastic. And final question, it's your first time at ECEC, how have you found the experience?
I love this event. It's done by professional people in a very friendly atmosphere. It's one of the best events I ever participated in.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your incredible story.
You're welcome.